Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ra-bum, da-dun, dun, 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 dun. Uh, 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 hey, I think it's working. I think in theory it's working. Hello, hello, hello. Checking 1, 2, 3, testing 1. Turn up the volume. Turn this over, and I say hello. Hi. Welcome to the live taping of Podcast Pontifications. My name is Evo Terra. Thank you very much for joining me. If you are brand new, you've got about 4 minutes before the real show content actually begins. Again, this is the live taping of the program, so you get to see the behind-the-scenes sausage making in all of its glory here at Podcast Pontification. So if you want to hang out for that, awesome. Thanks. I appreciate that. If you do not wish to hang out for that, go to podcastpontifications.com. Because that's where what I'm about to say to you will be said to you in print form, in video form, in audio form, in all of the ways you can get the content on your own schedule, if you will. But that's only if you want to. I mean, if you want to hang out, like people are hanging out right now, then that's cool. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm going to see if I can... one of the challenges using this service is I don't really get to see the stream of people who are chatting with me, so... Hi. I assume that you were there and that you're looking. I mean, I see bodies. I say, oh yeah, people are coming up right now. So that definitely means that's working. Anyhow, right. So for the people who know what's going on, what's up? Glad to have you guys here. Let me turn this off. Hi, Wayne. Nice to see you, sir. See, I can jump around and find some of the people who are chatting with me. And if you were chatting with me, I didn't see you. Sorry, it means I didn't see you on that way. Anyhow, today on the program, we're going to talk about 4 dumb things about podcasting that we still haven't fixed. It's been a long time, and we still haven't fixed these things. It was kind of bothering me as I was laying down. I thought, I'm going to talk about this on a program. I'm going to talk about these dumb things. And I kept it to 4 because, look, I don't want to be a negative Nelly, negative Nelson, negative, I don't know, whatever the word I want to use is, I don't want to be that way. Anyhow, that's what we're going to talk about today on the program, some dumb things. Once I get the voice somewhere cleaned out, once I'm happy with the way that it is working and looking, I promise I'll come back and do that. And I hope you guys are all fine and great. Things are good over here. Got a busy week. Hope your Easters were wonderful. Yeah, all those things. So let's see. Do I have everything that I need to get this thing done? I think so. I think I do. Let's see. If I slide this over here and I say, yeah, that looks good. All right, that's pretty good right there. That's pretty good right there. Yep. Okay, I'm happy with this thing. Right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get started because I have a busy day ahead of me, as I'm sure you do as well. So first thing I do is I read the preamble, which is, there's no doubt that podcasting today, producing and listening, is much less complicated than before. See, I was going to say easy. I don't want to say easy. But some lingering challenges remain that we must overcome to capture more public attention. I like it. All right. You guys ready for this? One last throat clear. Yeah, I think we're good. Shake, shake, shake. Here we go. There's no doubt that podcasting today, producing and listening, is much less complicated than before. But some lingering challenges remain that we must overcome to capture more public attention. Hello and welcome to another Podcast Pontifications with me, Evo Terra. Looking back over the last 16 plus years that podcasting has been a thing, we've made some pretty huge accomplishments. Yeah, we've minted a few millionaires with the space. We now have 2 million shows available. Production houses exist now that gainfully employ dozens and sometimes more than 100 people. I mean, we have built a real economy out of this thing called podcasting. It's what I do full time. It's wonderful. But some things in the podcasting industry are still dumb. And I just hope it doesn't take us another 16 years to put some of these dumb things to an end. So I'm going to cover those 4 things with you right now on the program. Number 1, smart speakers still suck for listening to podcasts. I've been watching the reports. I'm sure you've been watching the reports as well, and we see the numbers growing steadily as people use their smart speakers and other assistant devices to listen to podcasts. But it's still a tiny number, and the reason it's a tiny number is because the experience is still terrible. Now, I lay a lot of the blame of that at the feet of AI, which is clearly not there just yet. The UX is not the greatest thing. We're used to giving commands with our voices, but we're used to people on the other end responding to said commands and giving us what we want. The AI is not quite there yet. Last night it took me about 10 minutes to get the machines to dim the lights in the master bedroom. Yeah, because I didn't say the words properly. What else could I have said? I do not know. But it's no different than finding a podcast, right? I mean, finding a podcast on a smart speaker is difficult enough without a screen. I get that, but again, could be solved. But just getting that speaker to follow me from room to room. I have like 6 of these things in my 2-bedroom condo. Why can't it follow me with the thing I was playing? Why can't it intelligently pause when Sheila says something to me and I want to have a conversation, right? We're not there yet. And that's a problem with the AI, I think. But, I'm hopeful. Maybe that'll be fixed later on. Number 2, data in podcasting is still untrustworthy and obfuscated. Now, you're thinking, hang on, Evo, we've solved this problem. We now have the IAB guidelines and everything's great. Yeah, well, I wish that was true, that it was all great. It's not. It's still untrustworthy. Look no further than the announcement, what was it this week, I think? Buzzsprout came out and said that Spotify is bigger than Apple Podcasts as far as people downloading content from Buzzsprout goes. Nobody else thinks that. No other podcast hosting company thinks that, which means either Buzzsprout is counting weirdly or every other podcast hosting company is counting weirdly. But we're not sharing the data. The podcast hosting companies aren't saying this is it. 11%, 12%, whatever the number is the number, so we can all compare and contrast, right? When different hosting companies make these different bold claims, it makes people not trust the data. And that's not helping us. That's not helping bring people into the space. Plus, podcasters, maybe you, lie about the size of their audience. When asked how many downloads we get, we lie. Almost always. Or worse than that, we don't know. Or the hosting companies we are using have given us data in such a way that doesn't mean a lot to us. It is also obfuscated, so we don't know what to say. We just kind of make up numbers because, that sounds like a number. I saw a number, I'll use that. Look, I'm not looking for perfection in stats. I'm just looking for some consistency. I want them to be trustworthy and unobfuscated. Why can't we do that? Number 3, RSS feeds still suck. We've had a lot of advancements in RSS feeds over the several years this podcasting thing has grown, and that's great. We also have podcastindex.org, which is helping to crowdsource and vet, and we're now seeing other podcast hosting companies implement these new namespaces to extend the RSS spec, and that's wonderful. But they still stink. They're still limiting what we can do. Why can't I name a season? That's pretty important, and it seems like a pretty basic thing. I'm just stuck with season 1, 2, and 3. Why can't we list out credits, like at the end of a movie roll? You watch a movie or a trailer or a TV, not a trailer, but it's an episode or a movie on TV, you see the credit roll afterwards. Why can't we put that in an RSS feed so that, we can start making some connections? Oh, this person was on this show. This person produced this show. All of these things. We're not doing that yet. Can't even reference other episodes within an RSS feed. If you like this, you'll like this. We can't do any of those sorts of connections because it's not what it was designed for. RSS feeds still suck. They're getting better. They still suck. And the last thing, number 4, podcasting is still terribly under-monetized. Yeah, it's really great news that we're going to hit $1 billion this year. We're supposed to do that last year, but COVID. But $1 billion is still tiny in the grand scheme of all other ad dollars that are coming into the space. And advertising is still really hard to get right on podcasting. And by that, I mean how to buy it at scale and also see the returns at scale. Sure, some companies have nailed it down, and That's why BetterHelp is spending more money on podcast advertising than any other form of advertising they do. But other companies getting to the space look at this and go, I don't know where to begin. And how do I know this is going to work for me? There's not a lot of, no help, no bringing them along. So yeah, undermonetized. Look, I'm not cranky about this. I'm just realistic. Or maybe I'm a little bit cranky, but I'm also more realistic than that. Now, the good news here is I think that all of these issues I just raised are solvable. And better, I think almost all of them are being actively worked on. Someone or many someones are actively working on all four of those areas to bring about change. And that's exciting to me because once we get them fixed or closer to perfection, a more perfect podcasting union, that is what's going to make podcasting better. Now, if you found this eye-opening and maybe a little bit cranky, but fine, more eye-opening than Cranky Evo, please go to buymeacoffee.com/evoterra and slide a virtual coffee my way. And if someone you know in the podcasting space needs to hear this harsh bit of reality, but with maybe a slice of hope, then please send this episode to them. I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, I shall be back tomorrow with yet another podcast pontifications. Cheers. I have stopped the recording. I shall now go back and look at the living of the streaming. And I see a few folks are still hanging out for me there. Awesome. Thank you all very much for being here with me as I have done this thing. Let me check a couple of the feeds real quickly. So, hey, there's Betty. There's Wayne watching me on LinkedIn. Who's watching me on Facebook? Let's go view the event on Facebook. By the way, if you're coming in now and you missed all of the things, you could go back and watch the live version, or you could wait about 3 hours. I will put the actual edited version of everything I just did at podcastpontifications.com. Rewritten article from every word gets rewritten. Fully mastered mixed audio file goes out in the podcast. There'll be a transcription as well of the exact words that I said if you want to hear my stumbling or read my stumbling. And then later on today, the video will get posted. Checking the Facebook over here, Michael Knoll says, good morning, Mike. John McEwen says he mainly uses Spotify. Good devices, Google Home setup. Yeah, a lot of people use a Spotify. It's certainly there. About 11 to 12% of the people who listen to podcasts use Spotify. Actually, it's probably not true. Probably most people who listen to podcasts use Spotify. People who use Spotify to listen to podcasts is a number south of 20%. And Matt Kundle says, nice. Well, thank you, sir. I think that's really all I can check on, right? Is that all I can get a view on? I guess I can go to Periscope. Yeah. I don't know why I'm on Periscope, but whatever else, it's all there. See anything on side of that. Right, wonderful. Right, again, so podcastpontifications.com is where the finalized version of this will be in a little less than 3 hours. I'm going to go do that right now. Thank you for your attention. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Tomorrow is another day where we shall do it again. Okay, bye.